Hi, so you want to build your own AI agents, smart autonomous systems based on LLMs that communicate easily with each other and smoothly access external data and tools? Then you're at the right place. Today I'll introduce you to two exciting open source protocols designed specifically for this purpose. Google's Agent-to-Agent protocol, or A2A for short, and Anthropic's Model Context Protocol, known as MCP. But first, why do we even need standards like these? So right now, most agents communicate using their own custom methods and formats, making it difficult to build reliable and scalable systems. A2A defines how agents talk to each other on a service level, meaning communication via an exposed API. So this is why in my courses I always show my students how to wrap their AI graphs or agents into clean, reusable API layers. So if you're interested in that or just want to support my work, you will find promo codes in the description of this video. Let's start by looking at A2A. A2A is based on standard HTTP and has three main components. The first one is the agent card. This is a small JSON file located at /.wellknown/agent.json. It describes your agent's capabilities, the API endpoint, and how authentication works. Other agents can use this information to automatically discover and interact with your agent. The second component is the A2A Server. So that's the agent itself. In its simplest form, it provides exactly one endpoint, a post request to the root route that handles all incoming tasks like tracking their status like submitted, working or completed, and sends back the result. The third component is the A2A client. The client can be another agent or your own application. The client sends tasks to the server and receives responses, either immediately or as streaming updates or throughout webhooks. So it's important to note that A2A only focuses on external communication between agents. It does not dictate how the agent internally processes tasks or accesses resources. One quick side note, the A2A multi-agent concept is not the same as the, let's say, multi-agent supervisor agent approach that you might know from my LangGraph videos. So in LangGraph, a supervisor agent manages multiple internal sub-agents. However, when you expose such a system through A2A, the whole system, including the supervisor and all sub-agents, appears externally as one single agent. So whether this agent internally delegates tasks to a hidden sub-agent is not relevant for A2A. Okay, so now let's talk about the Model Context Protocol, in short MCP. MCP is an open standard for integrating external data sources and tools into an agent. MCP uses JSON RPC 2.0 and its communication format has three important concepts. The first one is tools. These are executable actions provided by an MCP server. MCP clients can discover available tools and call them via the API. An example might be getCurrentWeather, which provides the current weather for a specific city. Second, resources. These are read-only data sources that provide context for the agent but can't be changed directly. The third one is transport. So MCP communicates flexible over HTTP, WebSockets or local sockets, allowing a single client to connect simultaneously to multiple MCP servers. These can include accessing local data sources, internal APIs or cloud services. Finally, you might still wonder, are A2A and MCP competing protocols? So no, not at all. They complement each other perfectly. So A2A handles communication between agents and MCP standardizes access to external data and tools. So in fact, an ideal AI agent implements both protocols together. So let's quickly summarize the typical workflow when using the A2A protocol. So first, we have the discovery step. The client fetches the agent's card from the server's well-known URL. And in the next, the initiation step, the client sends a request containing the initial user message and a unique task ID. Then the processing happens. This can happen in streaming mode where the server sends updates or the task progress. And if we use non-streaming mode, then the server will return the final result directly in a response. Then there is an additional optional interaction step. So if the task requires additional input, then the client can send follow-up messages using the same task ID. The last one is the completion step. So finally, the task reaches a terminal state, such as completed, failed or cancelled. So that was the theory behind A2A and MCP. Let's now take a look at a working example, how this looks in code. Okay, I'm now in VS Code and here on the left you can see multiple files. Not every file is worth going through because there's a lot of boilerplate code to make this A2A protocol work, which I just got from Google, and I changed quite some stuff here. But yeah, let's say, for example, this card resolver that is important to actually implement the A2A protocol, but this is something that you normally would get from a library. So what's happening here is that we make a request to a well-known agent.json file, and here we use a client where we make a GET request to get the information here. But this is something that you would normally just import. So we focus on the most important parts. So the first one is the MCP server. So this is required to actually make the agent that we want to connect to use tools. So this is a very simple MCP server which runs on port 3000. So we use the fast MCP class from the MCP library, and we also use LangChain in combination with that. So we create a tool with LangChain where we use the tool decorator, and here is our tool that we want to expose via MCP. So this is a get exchange rate tool, and we want to pass US dollars and euros. So how do we want to convert some money? And here we can see this is static. So under the hood, nothing really special happens here. But let's say a user of agent A asks a question about the exchange rate of euro to dollar, then this agent can decide that it is not able to answer that question, but it needs to communicate to another agent. And this agent B, will then use a tool exposed via this MCP server and will send back the result from agent B to agent A, and agent A will answer the user's question. Now we can start the agent that makes use of this MCP server. This is the agent which is in the agent partner.py file. And if you have a look here, then we can see this also implements a lot of custom functionality provided in these files here. So what's happening here? So first we use this agent skill class, which gives the agent an ID, a name, a description, and some tags. So this will be used of the agent that will discover this agent's capability. We put that agent skill information in an agent card. These classes are used to create that agent JSON that another agent can then discover. Now we can expose that with the A2A Server class as an API, and at the end we just use the run method to run all of that functionality. So I'm going to show you how that looks like. So we run Python agent partner.py. So this will expose the API on port 8000. And as you can see, this already made a request to the MCP server. Here you can see that we already made requests here. So the agent already loaded the tools available via MCP. So now this agent knows what tool it is capable to use. Okay, so now we've got an agent running that is capable of using tools from an MCP server. Now we need another agent that can communicate with that agent. So for this, you can find two files, the Google Host-Agent, which was more or less directly taken from the examples of Google, and also the Host-Agent.py, which implements this functionality, but without the requirement of using a model from Google. Okay, so first, the most important part here is the remote agent class. This implements the methods which are required to make the MCP protocol work. So first we need this fetch agent card method, which makes a GET request to an URL. And here we want to fetch the agent.json file. As you can see, we now extract the capabilities, and now our agent knows at the end that other agents have got functionalities that it might use to answer a question. The other methods here, as you can see, are like send task, and this is all required to make this protocol work. Normally, like I said before, this is something that you would just import from a library that implemented this once, but you don't have to implement this every time on your own. We also got this host agent class, which implements a lot of functionalities to actually communicate to the other agent. So I will scroll down to the most important part here to actually show you how we can set up this. So we gonna use a React agent from LangGraph here. And now we want to wrap some functionalities in a tool like make list agents tools. So this will use the host agent's list agent information, which makes a request to the other agent and fetches all the information, and we can get that and save that information as tool in this LLM instance. So we also pass a system prompt, and then we use that information to create our agent, where we pass the LLM, we pass a list of tools. So this is how we can add tools, which implements the A2A protocol, we use a checkpointer for memory, and then at the end we use that system prompt. Now we've got our agent with these available tools, and these available tools implement the A2A protocol. Okay, so now we can use this function to set up our workflow. So what are we going to do? First, we're gonna use this remote URL. So this is where this agent B is running, and we're gonna instantiate host agent with this single URL. Then we run the initialize method, which actually makes a request to the agent card of that agent. And now we use that build react agent function, and we pass in that host agent, which already has the information that we need to use the A2A protocol. So I'm gonna show you that, how this looks like in practice. So we're gonna run Python host agent.py, and this makes use of a while loop, so we can actually talk to that agent. So if we just say hi, then the agent, of course, will understand that it does not need the help of another agent to actually answer the question. If we ask how much is $1 in euro, then it should not know it, but no, it can ask another agent. And here we can see that the answer is 85 cents. And this is what we hard coded in the tool of our MCP server. If you have a look at the logs of agent B, we can see that requests were made. So agent A, this agent, asked agent B if it is able to answer that. Agent B knew that it doesn't know the answer directly, but it has a tool that it can use to answer that question. So it used the tool, answered the question, gave that back to agent A, and agent A created a final answer. So that's the workflow that was used here. Okay, so if you've got any questions, please let me know that in the comments. If you liked the video, give it a thumb up, and I'll see you in the next. Bye bye.